Hello and welcome to Ready Bet Action, your one-stop shop for all things sports betting. We are excited that you are here. We are recording on Wednesday, September 20th, giving you your picks for Thursday. We've got some Europa League action. We've got some Thursday night football action, and I'm just excited to get this going. Eric, you ran the numbers for the year. Once you count our futures, we're doing okay. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Yeah. Numbers looking good. We need some futures to hit, but honestly, I really think we're starting to get on a pretty great roll. So I think we're just fine. I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited for football to start back up tomorrow. It's been 2 whole nights, and I don't really know what to do
Right.
with myself. So
We need
here
some
we are.
action.
Oh, it also made me sad that you said Europa League, and realizing that one of our picks is Liverpool. As a Liverpool
Right.
fan, just makes me sad that we have to go talk about the Europa League. But I think the picks are great. So.
Yeah. And Europa League can be tricky because you don't always know if teams are going to be playing for it or not. So you got to be careful. You got to look at what's going on. But we've got a very safe play for you, I think, tonight. So, but before we jump into our plays, Eric, I just wanted to chat a little bit about just kind of your overall philosophy going into this weekend.
Yep.
What are you looking for? What are some? I mean, we've got a huge weekend of college football. We've got Ohio State, Notre Dame. We've got Clemson, Florida State. Some teams that we thought we knew what we knew, and some stuff has changed. Anything you're kind of looking forward to as we get into the start of the weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a tricky college football weekend as far as actually picking the games goes. Like they're amazing games. Oh my gosh, compared to last week,
Right.
just the slate is absolutely awesome. I'm so excited to watch all day on Saturday. But actually picking these games, I think some people are going to lose a lot of money this weekend. So how we're not going to lose money is we're going to go in, we're going to find some value. I think find some sneaky things in games, see how teams have been doing. Looking at team totals instead of game totals, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
to really find the value in this weekend. Because I think Vegas is really, or just the books are really locking it in, and you can really see that this weekend with some of these big games. So we got to go find some games that are maybe off the radar, and we got to go find some lines that maybe aren't the straight up spread and totals and those kind of things. So
Right. And just because it's a fun game to watch and two great teams doesn't mean you have to have action on it. Of
yes,
course,
absolutely not.
I always recommend sprinkling a little bit just for fun, but you don't have to
Yep.
go big on these games that you're not sure of. But why don't we get into our plays for the week? Because I think we both feel really good about our plays for Thursday, September 21st. I'm going to start off as I teased ahead of time. We're going to jump into the Europa League. In my play for you, it's a two-team money line parlay. As you mentioned, we're going to go with Liverpool. Liverpool plays LASK Linz. Lask Linz. If you haven't heard of them, that's because they are currently in third place in the Austrian Bundesliga.
Which
Not
I
to be
definitely
confused
knew.
not to be
Definitely knew that.
confused with the German Bundesliga. So they are third in Austria. So Liverpool, we don't know who they're going to be putting out there. But the thing with this is, even if Liverpool puts out their B squad is going to be good enough to get a win against this
Yep.
squad. The other team we want to pull on the money line is Roma, who I actually have a future bet on at minus 1600 to win Serie A, which is a long shot, but I still like it. They play FC Sheriff Tiraspol. Do you know where FC Sheriff plays?
I don't know where either of those team plays. Like you are speaking a foreign language, I would say pretty much everyone that's listening, and that's why we're going to go ahead and bet the major clubs right now. But tell me
Yeah,
where they play.
the club is the club is based in Tiraspol, which is a city in the unrecognized breakaway state of Transnistria in Moldova. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
we're
Was
gonna
that
take
a was
Roma.
that a country you just said, or is that some
Yeah.
sort of okay?
So we're gonna go take Roma against a Moldovan squad, and we're gonna take Liverpool against an Austrian side. Two teams you've definitely heard of against two places you've never heard of. So taking them on the money line, you parlay this, you get this at minus 105. I'll be putting a significant wager on this myself.
But do you know what they say about the Moldovans?
I don't.
No, you don't, because no one knows what anyone says about the
That's right.
Moldovans. So
There
here
we
we
go.
go. We're gonna go with money line for Liverpool and for Roma. I love it. I love it at minus 105 as well. I'm going to move us into our other pick that is not an NFL pick. It is a college football pick for tomorrow night. We have Georgia State taking on Coastal Carolina. So I actually like the over in this game if you just want to play something simple in the total. However, uh, I believe it's actually Granger. I think I typed this out wrong here, but yeah, he is absolutely a rushing quarterback. The man had 145 yards rushing. Granted, he had a 65-yard breakaway touchdown to make a lot of that total. However, he still exceeded this 38 and a half rushing yards that I really like him at. Wow, just go watch the one breakaway play from 2 weeks ago against UConn and watch him run and tell me he's not going to get 38 and a half yards easily tomorrow in a game that's going to have a ton of scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if he has this in the first half. Lots of scoring in this game. I think we both like some different pieces of this game. So we didn't really put a lot of picks in here from the game, but should be a lot of points. I do think Georgia State keeps it close and actually covers as well. So do as you will, but I think this is the safest bet in the game is taking Georgia State's quarterback over 38 and a half rushing yards.
And Coastal Carolina has been a darling for a couple seasons now, but Jamie Chadwell, their coach, is no longer there. He took the Liberty took the Liberty head coaching job after Hugh Freeze left. So this Coastal Carolina team, while 22nd year quarterback Grayson McCall is still there, not his age, he's been there for that long. He's still there, but this Coastal Carolina team is not the same. I actually kind of like Georgia State plus 6.5. Not an official play for the show, but I like this play a lot. Why don't we jump into the NFL? I'm going to start with a pretty simple one. Daniel Jones just is not that dude. I will fade him any opportunity that I get. We've got no Saquon Barkley. We've got a banged up offensive line. We've got a San Francisco defense that is on top of things, and a San Francisco offense that's going to push the scoring, I think, on their side. So I like Daniel Jones to try to force the football into a bad spot and give me Daniel Jones over half an interception at minus 105, pretty much even money for something that I think happens, 60 to 75% of the time here. So Daniel Jones over half an interception is one of my favorite plays for tomorrow night.
Yeah, fading Daniel Jones, especially when he's going to be down most of this game and throwing a lot, to get an interception against a really great defense is a pretty safe pick, I think. I'm going to start with my most boring pick. Feel free to send in the criticism for this one. I am so sorry, but I am taking a field goal prop, which is what we all really watch the NFL for, if we're being honest, which is to watch Graham Gano kick field goals. I just think for me, this plus 150 for Gano to get over 1.5 field goals is an overreaction to the Giants losing to the Cowboys. Like, I think if you go look at this game and you look at these props, a lot of it suggests that this is going to be Cowboys Giants 2.0. And I don't think people realize how hard it is to get blown out like that in 2 games in one season. Like, these are NFL professional teams. That's not happening again, even if the Niners are better than the Cowboys, which I think they are. The point is that Gano is going to get at least a couple chances, and they're going to need to put some points on the board. I really like this, but I mostly like it because I just think it's such an exaggerated plus 150 in this spot. And to say there's going to be 2 field goals from one team doesn't feel totally unreasonable to me.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I was looking at some of the rushing props for the backup running backs for the Giants, and they're set pretty low. I kind of lean the under on those anyway. I think this is going to be a tough game for them. And kind of in line with that, I do have a same game parlay. For this, I'm going to be going San Francisco minus 6.5, and I'm going to tease the total to 54.5. And that'll get you at minus 120. So we went now the Niners to win by a touchdown, and we went under 54.5. I think both of these hit pretty easily. I think if you want to just bet the regular under at like 49 or whatever it is at, and the Niners at minus 10, that's fine too. I think this is a little safer. You still get that minus 120. The only way this doesn't hit is if the Niners put up 40. But even then it might. Even then it might.
Yes, absolutely. I love that.
42-6, so that you get your 2 field goals.
That might be it. I love to know the last time, sorry, and an NFL team got shut out twice in one season. I would love that stat. Someone can send that to us because I'm not doing it. However, I'm going to give you my two final picks. My first pick is a George Kittle pick. This has two angles to it for me. One is that Brandon Ayuk, so far the 49ers top wide receiver, is looking to be out. Either way, he's not 100%. Kittle has had 3 receptions in his first 2 games, so I don't think it's crazy to say that, first of all, he should get a share of Ayuk's targets and therefore 1 extra reception at the very least. Feels pretty easy. The second angle is the he's due angle, which is Kittle hasn't scored a touchdown. He hasn't had a big game. I think he's had like 19 yards and then like 28 yards. He really hasn't shown up this year. And why not do it against the Giants when their number one wide receiver is out? So I will also be sprinkling a Kittle first touchdown and anytime touchdown myself. That's up to you. That's not an official show pick. I just think he's a little bit due, but mostly this pick is a real nice, safe pick for you with Ayuk likely not being at 100% at the very least, if not being out. So,
yeah, I like that.
Yep, and then I think this pretty safely hits with my last pick. They don't totally contradict each other necessarily, but I have Brock Purdy under 228.5 passing yards at minus 120. I think this is Thursday Night Football. I think San Francisco has shown they can score a lot of points by just running the ball. Purdy's job is just to be in there, dumping off little passes, not doing anything too crazy. His yardage totals haven't exceeded this more than twice in his regular season career, which I know is only like 9 games. However, that's still leaning
Decent.
exactly. That's leaning towards this number being under. I think this is another number which I'm going to harp on an exaggerated totals for this game as just an overreaction to the Giants-Cowboys game from 2 weeks ago. So let's take advantage of it before the Giants show that they're actually professionals and are going to show up and play games. Because let's be honest, they didn't really do it until they finally came back and beat the Cardinals last week. So I think that's only helping us make money this week. And we get to take advantage of these totals because everyone's a little overreacting, I think, to how bad the Giants have looked. But I'm not saying they're a good football team. Let's just stop and be clear about I don't think the Giants have a chance in this game. They're a professional football team. It is different if this was college. There is no way I'm making these same picks. In professional NFL football, Thursday nights are an absolute shit show. I think that we're getting some exaggerated numbers tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And please do, you guys, please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube. Please do download, subscribe to the show wherever you are listening, wherever you prefer to get your podcast. Do follow us. Leave a rating and review. That does actually help a lot, especially right now as we are growing the program, as we're reaching out to more and more people. Every every retweet or re-X. Do you call it a retweet still? I don't even know.
It's a re-X. I don't know what it is.
A re-X. Whatever you can do, we appreciate it. Before we go, though, we do want to just give you a quick recap of our plays for September 21st. I will start. We are on Liverpool and Roma on the money line in Europa League, and you'll get that at minus 105. We're going to swing over to the NFL, where I want you to place a wager on Daniel Jones to throw at least 1 interception. And then we're also taking the same game parlay of San Francisco minus 6.5 and under 54.5 total points scored.
Yeah, that's great. I have 4 picks for you. You're going to take the Georgia State quarterback to go over 38.5 rushing yards against Coastal Carolina on Thursday night. We're also going to take Graham Gano at plus 150 to get over a field goal and a half. And then George Kittle is due. He will be getting over 3.5 receptions, and that is at minus 130. And then last but not least, we have Brock Purdy under 228.5 passing yards at minus 120.
Awesome. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all of you. You don't want to miss a show, so do subscribe so that you know every second that we have a podcast come out. We're so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Eric, take us away.
Yeah, we're gonna make money, man. We're on a roll. We're gonna go make money tomorrow night, like we just are. It's gonna be great.
All right, let's do it. We'll see you all tomorrow.